Game reviews and self-defacing entertainment interlacing. Just sit back and start to space out overstimulation. Band reviews or playing skits where I'm a chick worth laying attention, grabbing product placement with the point I'm trying to make is the overstimulation station. Overstimulation station. Overstimulation station. Overstimulation station. Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Overstimulation Station. Yet another episode, folks. We did it. I don't know what we did. We're doing it. I want to thank all 10 of you who are still watching my videos. You guys, really, you mean the world to me. I really want to thank you for that. And I know you're doing your best sharing my videos with your friends. You're doing your best, right? You're doing your best? Tell me you're doing your best! This is all I have! Tonight I'm doubling back on some of the ideas that I had in the past. I'm doing another game review. Isn't that exciting? The game I'm reviewing tonight, of course, is MDK2 for the Sega Dreamcast. This is truly an underrated gem, but is also one of the most frustrating games I have played in a really long time. It is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played in my entire life. For a few reasons. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Now, there's a lot of retro game reviews going around on YouTube now. They're very popular. Well, let me tell you something about reviewing a retro game. They're small. And when I say small, I don't mean small as in size, I mean small as in length. Retro games take about maybe 2 hours of your life to play through the whole entire game. 8-bit and 16-bit cartridges didn't have the capacity to have these long, expansive worlds, barring RPGs and a few other examples. Somewhere along the lines, my dumbass forgot that as the consoles evolved, the levels in the games got extremely big. And this game, MDK2, which by the way stands for Murder, Death, Kill, or so they say, that name's actually up for grabs about what the name actually means. It's a mystery. But MDK2 for the Sega Dreamcast is a long fucking game. I record all my game footage on a DVD-R recorder. And this fucker took up 11 blank DVD-Rs for me to record on. Took 20 hours of my life that I will never get back again. And some of the DVDs didn't even record right. They fucked up. So there's some things I want to show you, but won't be able to, unfortunately. But anyway, enough bitching about how long it is. Let me tell you why this game kicks ass. MDK2 is a sequel to MDK, which was released on the PC back in 1997. The game gained a lot of accolades from reputable publications like IGN and Game Informer. I had never played the first MDK and would have probably never known about this game had it not been for those awesome sample discs that PlayStation and Dreamcast used to make. This was a really great way to test out a game before you shelled out $50 or so on one. After playing the demo, I was hooked and bought the game. When starting out on the very first level, the controls feel fluid and tight. After about 15 minutes of playing the game, I already felt as though I had a pretty good grasp on what I was doing and I was ready to kick some ass. You start out as Kurt Hectic, the janitor of the Gym Dandy. But you know what? The game designers did such a good job with the intro, I'll just let that do all the explaining.
Kurt Hectic never wanted to be a hero. He was content with his life and wanted to live out his years in quiet, dignified anonymity. Sadly, it was not to be. Kurt was employed as a janitor for Dr. Fluke Hawkins, eccentric man of science. The messes were large, but the pay was good, so when Hawkins left, Kurt followed. Little did he know what was to come. The doctor had wished for a place away from his detractors, away from those that thought him mad. With janitor in tow, he left the earth, vowing to return only when his genius was proven. The greatest of the doctor's inventions in exile was the six-legged canine, Max. Max was the perfect assistant, and his appreciation of firepower made him a fine watchdog as well. Kurt was outfitted in an untested coil suit and sent to try and disable the machines. He was reluctant, but he had no choice. He was the Earth's last hope. Now, with the aliens routed and order restored, our heroes can return to their normal everyday lives. Or can they? Only time will tell.
So there you have it. You get to play as the aforementioned Kurt with his coil suit and cool ribbon glider thing, who can also snipe enemies from afar. A lot of his tactics tend to rely on being more covert and utilizing his sniper abilities. He seems to be the middle-of-the-road guy out of the 3 characters that you get to play as. 1 part puzzle solving, 1 part brute force. I always had the most fun playing his missions. The characters alternate after every mission, so the next character you end up playing as is Max, Dr. Hawkins' guard dog. Max is straight up brute force. Most of his missions rely on heavy firepower and being thrown straight into the action, guns ablazing. Max also has the largest life meter, so he can take a lot more damage than the other two characters. Max has 4 arms, and each arm can hold a different weapon that you get to select. A lot of times though, the weaponry can be scarce and hard to come by, although you always have at least one Magnum that has unlimited ammo. Although it's pretty weak by itself, I really wouldn't rely on it. Max eventually gets a rocket pack that adds a lot more depth to his levels and makes him a lot more interesting as a character and a lot more fun to play, I might add. Dr. Hawkins is the most pain-in-the-ass character in the game in the sense that he has the smallest amount of health at only 60 HP. His weapons are not nearly as powerful, and his levels, well, let's just say you have to really be into puzzle solving to enjoy them. Anytime a Dr. Hawkins level was coming up, I would always dread it because I knew I was in for a real mindfuck. With Hawkins, a lot of times it is required that you retrieve certain items in a level and find ways to combine objects to make new objects. This is how you make your first and only primary weapon, which is an atomic toaster that shoots out radioactive toast.
An atomic toaster? By Jove, now we're cooking!
Which I gotta admit is pretty hilarious. Even though Hawkins is the hardest character and most frustrating, he is definitely the funniest, and the comic relief that he brings is definitely appreciated. I love the tongue-in-cheek style of this game, and its cutscenes still gave me a chuckle to this day.
Mine crawler in sector 8675309.
Computer, find my blasted janitor. This place is a mess.
Kurt Hectic has been located. Transferring power to teleportation relays.
Oh my. They took the suit. We're all doomed. Can I go now?
Oh, no. We're not licked yet. You're back in action, Kurt.
Doctor, Max here.
Max? Oh, who's my little puppy-wuppy dingy-doggy?
Oh, Doctor, please, come on. Unsecure the line.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. Report?
Mission complete. Deployment speed lacking. Must grease pelvis. Friction is distracting.
The look of this game is just incredible. Every level is completely different, even if you are revisiting similar areas with different characters. For instance, Dr. Hawkins starts off in the Gym Dandy. This is where you first learn the mechanics of his particular character. Then later on, Max has to fight through the same ship, but this time he's blasting under the floor through vents and corridors to destroy the new alien infestation that has taken over the ship. I mean, just look at this.
Black hole grenade.
why wouldn't you want to play this game? If you like third-person adventure games, you need to go out and buy this game today. As a bonus, from my understanding, this game is available for download in all the next-gen virtual stores, or whatever the hell they're called. And they've bumped it up to HD, so it's even prettier on your eyeballs, if that matters to you. And the weird thing is, I know it really does matter to some people. For me, I couldn't care less, as long as the game is good. Now, as much as I've been praising this game, let me finally acknowledge that bit of foreshadowing I gave at the beginning of this video. This game is an exercise in frustration. You will die. I repeat, you will die. You will die a lot. You will break a controller or two. You will yell at your television set. The people you live with will think you are going mad. I died a lot in this game. And this was by no means my first rodeo when it came to the third-person action genre. One thing that will piss you off about this game is that you will find yourself saying, "How the fuck was I supposed to know to do that on the first try?" And that's the thing, you're not supposed to beat hardly anything in this game on the first try. You're supposed to die over and over and over and over again until you slowly learn what the fuck you're supposed to do in any given situation. Which I think is kind of a cheap way of extending the life of a game, making the rules so unclear and difficult that you have to spend hours fucking about until you finally have that, "Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do" moment. I'm not gonna lie, folks. I had to use a walkthrough a time or two while recording this footage. It was seriously getting to the point to where I was wasting just so much footage on wandering around, not knowing what I was supposed to do, and I had beaten the game before. That's the sad thing. Sometimes you have to do things in the level that make you say to yourself, "Really? Really? You expect me to do that?" And you know if you die, you'll have to go all the way back to the previous save point, go through all the monotony again, just to get another chance at that certain difficult part that you're stuck on. You know, I've been spoiled. I used to have a lot more patience for this shit as a kid. I think emulators fucked me up with their convenient save states, instantly being able to retry a difficult part. I mean, I don't use emulators a lot, but I did want to play Hagani, and I didn't want to pay $500 to do so. Just as a little fun fact here, Hagani was a game released on the Super Nintendo, and for some backwards-ass reason, you could only rent the game from Blockbuster. The game could not be purchased in North America for whatever reason. Maybe it's because it's hard as fuck. So the only way you could even own a copy of this game nowadays is if you either A, just rented it and never returned the game back to the store, or B, when Blockbuster started closing their doors, you were lucky enough to find the game still in the piles of shit that they were trying to sell off. And if that was the case, you probably got a killer deal on it. You lucky bastard. That's why they command such high prices on eBay, because it's super rare. It's a fun game, but it's not $500 worth of fun. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program.
From now on, we've got to use our heads. A few snazzy gizmos and we're home free.
Doc, I'd rather get in and out before we're even noticed.
I'm tired of being subtle. Let's put this sissy down. Here, Max. We don't want to go in barking mad. It wouldn't be safe. Safer than most of your inventions.
Can't argue that.
Huh! Short-sighted buffoons! Oh, that's it! Bring it on, Fuzzy! I have had it with both of you!
Is this the end of our xenophobic trio? Will Zizzy the alien emperor go undefeated? Who do you think is right for the job? Make the choice.
For the last level of the game, you get to choose which character you want to play as. I instinctively chose Kurt with his gliding ability and his sniper rifle. The part of the level before the end boss is slightly different depending on which character you chose, but the final boss battle is the same. How you defeat the final boss, however, is completely different depending on which character you've selected. And of course, the character I chose is easily the most frustrating one of the bunch when it comes to the last part of defeating the boss. The final boss is this big frog thing named Izzy. The first part of the battle, you're just blasting away at him. But eventually you get sucked inside of his body and you gotta fuck up all of his internal organs. This fucking boss battle literally took me 2 hours as Kurt. You have to blast his heart, fine. You have to shoot grenades into his lungs, fine. You have to glide up to the inside of his eyeballs and blast both of those, fine. But to truly defeat him, you have to snipe 4 blue electrified ball things that spin around his brain. This is literally harder than throwing a pebble into a beer bottle 15 yards away while trying to bust a kickflip on a half pipe with rabid sugar gliders tearing at your flesh. In fact, you'd probably have better luck doing that than killing this final boss with Kurt. While you're trying to snipe the spinning balls, these annoying little fucking green bastards chomp down on you every 5 seconds, and the inside of Izzy's body is constantly shaking you around, thus preventing you from ever getting a clear shot. On top of that, the balls are moving so fast, and they don't really stay still for longer than 2 milliseconds. I was starting to lose my fucking mind while playing this boss, because I had just gotten far enough to where it wasn't worth starting all over again, so I got into this kind of weird gaming trance. I was diligent, I was careful, I refused to give up, I was patient as hell, and finally, I did it. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I was able to snipe all 4 balls. And the feeling of relief washed over me like an innocent 26-year-old virgin bathing in honeycomb waterfalls and sugar plum dreams.
Yes, it's all over.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
With the fall of Zizibaluba, so fell the alien empire, and all the evil plans they had wrought. Kurt Hectic would return to Earth on the shoulders of his fellows, raised high as the hero that he was. The attention was all that...
And then I realized there were different endings for each character. So the obsessive-compulsive in me made me re-beat the boss as Dr. Hawkins, only because I read he was the easiest character to beat the final boss with. Well, he was easier, but not easy by any means. 45 minutes later, I am successful. After that, folks, I was beaten down. I was worn out. I had no more fight left to give. And my Sega Dreamcast was hot enough to fry an ostrich egg. So I don't know what the ending looks like for the fucking dog, and I don't care. I beat the game with 2 out of the 3 characters. This game is great. This game is frustrating. This game is not for the weak-willed. I highly recommend it. Alright, that's the end of yet another video. I know it's so depressing. I hate it. Oh, no, I actually love it. That means I'm done. I'm almost done with this video, and I can edit it and just be done with it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to let you behind the curtain, but I'm not sad that it's over. I'm happy that it's over. That means I can work on another video. If you want to subscribe, you know what you can do. Just go right down there. Hit the subscribe button. Do it for daddy. That was creepy. Special thanks to people like Karina and Lauren and Brittany and anybody else who gave a kind word to me along the way here. These kind of things keep me going, honestly, because if I feel like nobody's watching this stuff, then I'll still make it. Who am I kidding? I have nothing better to do with my life right now. So I'll sing you a song right now. You can tell everybody this is your video. It may be quite simple, but now that they know, I hope you tell them, I hope you tell them, hope you tell them to subscribe. And then one day I'll get royalties for being a YouTube partner. Because that's the only reason I'm doing it. No, I'm just joking. Alright, everybody, have a great night. And I don't think I have anything else to say. Goodbye.